Hi there, and welcome to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargaming Kris, aka the Name Butcher, aka Hey You, Get Off My Lawn. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. We'll usually talk a whole lot of painting and a whole lot of under the sun, but that's half the fun, I think, of the show anyway. So especially for you new people who are joining us or just catching us for the first time, feel free to ask whatever kind of question you want to ask. There is no bad questions. There's no dumb questions. And that's really what this show is for. It's for you guys to, demystify a lot of these things that are in the painting hobby. A lot of people just kind of like, I don't understand what this is about, and I'm not sure what they're talking about when they say this kind of term, or those kind of questions, right? Get them all the time, and I answer them all the time, and I'm happy to do it because I think it's better when everybody's enjoying the hobby. I don't think it's any fun when nobody's having fun, because then they get out of the hobby, And I mean, this is a really great hobby, and I think it should have a lot of people in it, And so where are we today? We are the Monkeys. Where are the Monkeys? Monkeys. Harvey Shelley, LOL. Okay. Tolo, Ole, Lord Krabby, sup guys? Kurt Kershone, morning peeps. How we doing? We're doing pretty good. Spite you, howdy Monkeys, howdy Kris, howdy Spite you. Nidfink, hello everyone. Mick Whiskey, good morning everyone. Lucian Valensor, hey Kris. Clayton Tate, hello happy hobby kittens. Happy hobby kittens. Happy hobby kittens. Mad Cow Crazy, shouldn't it be live now? It should be live now. Like right now. I'm live. You're live. It should be now. We're living in the now, not the past, not the future, but now. David Taylor, hey crazy people, and the sane ones, in case anyone is still holding on. Lazy Monkey, rejoice for I have arrived. We are rejoicing. Clumsy Juggler, hello everyone. Chris Nillis. Chris Nillis. Anyway, hello. Chris, bass guitar, best instrument. Okay. My brother, he's a great guitar player. He's the one who does the intro music for this show. And we just kind of, just whip something up real quick, and so he said, I'll do it in bass, and does this bass line, and yeah, it was kind of fun. It was great. It'd be nice if he could write me a whole intro music, like with guitar and all sorts of stuff in there. Just basically compose something. That'd be really cool. Next time I'm talking to him, I'll have to bug him. Despite you, I'm still waking up. Holy man. Gray Death Angel, hello all. Hello. Despite you, I can tell you where we are not today. Not at Gen Con. I know, and I was going to try and make Gen Con this year. I definitely want to make Adepticon again next year. And I think I would really like to go to Adepticon or Gen Con. Now Gen Con is more kind of general, kind of hobby, stuff like that. It's not, whereas Adepticon is strictly just wargaming. And painting as well, but it's strictly just like all about the wargamer. Whereas Gen Con, it's about anything and everything that's nerdy or geeky or whatever, right? Nerd culture, I guess, is really what it is. And yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I've seen some of the videos there, and I'm like looking at the crowds of people. I was like, holy carmoly, like that's a lot of people. I mean, I've been to Comic Cons before, and been shoulder to shoulder with people, and that's how it looks like at Gen Con. It's like everybody's shoulder to shoulder. It's like, whew, I don't know. Mad Cow Crazy, Death Watch. So what do you think of the new kits, Kris? I like them. I mean, like, okay, I'm not entirely happy that I'd have to buy a whole box set to get a new Eldrad. As of, and getting some more Harlequins, and that's fine because Harlequins kick ass. But the new Artemis, I think the new Artemis is really, really cool. Death Watch, I mean, it's Death Watch. Everybody loves Death Watch. Mad Cow Crazy. Also, don't you hate it when you have diarrhea and poke your finger through the paper? Gross. Yeah, so Death Watch, yeah, kind of excited for that. We'll probably end up getting a couple boxes of that around here, so we'll see. Ram V, hey monkeys, hey Kris, hey Spartan56, sup everyone. Neil Turner, hello all, or afternoon all. Great Death Angel, just look it up. The pre-order Death Watch yet. Only seen the UK, not first in the US yet. Thomas Huntley, hello everyone. Hello. Bob. Just Bob. Hello all, can't stay for long. My cousin is getting married. Well, congratulations to your cousin. Not to you, because you gotta go. But Tolo, my condolences to your cousin. Mad Cow Crazy, I assume they put Eldrad in the box to try and sell Harlequins, as those might not be selling well. Well, it's been a while since Harlequins were released, and yeah, I'm sure they're probably sitting on quite a few that they want to keep moving those products. Will Eldrad get more Harlequins sold? Possibly. But I think, like, really the two characters in that box set, Artemis and Eldrad, like, those are the two characters that everybody's going to be after in that box, right? So, David Taylor, wouldn't the Death Watch sell enough? Yeah, and Death Watch as well. Everybody's going to be buying out for Death Watch. And also, too, like, maybe they're sitting on Harlequins and they're going, you know what, we're sitting on so many Harlequins. Who can we have Harlequins fight? Or we have these new Death Watch. Who can we have them fight? Well, who's not selling that well? Harlequins. Let's throw Harlequins in the box. Hey, we got a new Eldrad that's kind of sitting on the shelf waiting for the next, batch release of Eldar stuff. Let's throw him in the box as well. All right, throw him in the box, and we'll get rid of these plastic sprues somehow. Despite you, at the start of the week, my wife and I decided to play Malifaux. When we went to order the models, we learned the store would be down until Gen Con started and nothing will get shipped till it's over. Oof. Well, Gen Con's a big thing, And I depending, I guess, where you live. It's Indianapolis, I believe it is. It takes place. A lot of big conventions, I guess, go on there and stuff. And so, yeah. I've seen the videos and stuff like that. Some of the coverage that people have been doing. My God, all the people. It's huge. I'd say 8,000, I think, or 10,000. Dania Pagey, hello monkeys. Spartan56 at Kris, how do you like Mark III? I haven't played any games of it yet, but I do like it. And of course, the big one is the pre-measuring. I think the pre-measuring is just awesome. People are saying a stream stop. I've got a couple interruptions here, but everything seems to be broadcasting normally. Might have to just refresh every time. If the stream stops for you, just refresh, because it's usually some sort of hiccup. We'll blame YouTube. So from with Mark III, the pre-measuring, is a big deal. Of course, there are some smaller rules, like things that affect, like my steelheads. My cavalry aren't quite as hitty as they used to be. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes to to the tabletop and stuff like that. Again, because they up the Warcaster's jack points, right, to try and get people to use jacks more. And I don't think that's it. I think they got to make the rules better for them than just making the points more available for them. It's just, although I do like that jacks automatically get a free focus that helps casters like, say, Drake McBain, who's only a 6 focus. And, he's hard pressed half the time to keep things running. And then, you also got to, throw some extra focus on somebody. So if you have, nice big battle group, you got lots of focus, you're laughing. Lord Krabby, I kind of want Geniuses to be a thing. Aren't they coming out with a codex? I bought Lost Patrol and had a blast with it. Matt and Josh, I think, were playing Lost Patrol. I don't know what their review or what their opinions of it. As far as Geniuses, yeah, I thought there was Geniuses. I thought they came out with the last Overwatch box that they released like a little mini decks for them for using the Jinsu cult. Despite you super stoked to play it, just not waiting for it to arrive. Till then, I'm just painting Reaper minis and working on a Jackadet. Jackadet. Oh, those Jackadets. Tolo, YouTube doesn't show watcher count anymore? I don't know. No, David says it's 29, so I'm showing. Yeah. Wargren, good morning, you human beings. There's Wargren. Good morning, unhuman beings, too. Lazy Monkey, humanity is overrated. Monkeys rule. Just watch out for the poo flinging. It might attract Nurgle bums. And we're back to the Nurgle bums. Coffee. Ronnie Sugden, there he is. Hey, monkeys. I've missed so many. Glad to catch a live one again. Cool. Lord Krabby, Kris, no, it was not an actual codex like the Death Watch was going to. Suppose same with the Steelers. Oh, yeah. Apparently the Death Watch codex is supposed to be coming out. Maybe, I don't know. When? I have no idea. I'm not privy to such information. I'm usually treated like a mushroom, left in the dark and buried in fertilizer. Despite you, Kris, how has your week been going? My week's been going pretty good. I've been working on the Warhammer Quest Silver Tower box, the game box. Because the Vault members, wanted it. They voted it up and said, that's a great idea. So I'm going to go through the entire box set showing, how to paint. But also I've been working on, because some of you guys might know that Matt had recently acquired a 3D printer. And so, really quickly here, we are starting to print out some stuff. Some terrain features. Really, he wanted it for, I guess, for terrain and stuff like that. And, the 3D printer, we can do so much more with a 3D printer. The sky's the limit. Our imagination, we're only limited by our imagination as far as what we can do with a 3D printer. And so I've been playing with that all week, trying to get the settings down and, trying to get what the right resolution is for printing some of these things. Like this thing's got it's got some really interesting little bone details going on, and it's got the skulls, and it's got the curvature to the pipe. And I think I nailed it with this one, though. I think I got a good resolution going here, so I think I'll have to keep these settings when I do another print. But yeah, so that's all I've been doing is doing these prints alongside painting, of course. But yeah, that's how my week's been going. Kamanized is here. Barfing Sheep. Rumen Matinov, hello. Plague Lord 40k1, yay, I made it. Well, welcome, Plague Lord. I don't know if I've read that name before, Plague Lord. If I have, welcome. If I already read before, then welcome back. Clayton Tate, that 3D printer will look amazing. Did you sculpt that? No, I did not sculpt it. Although I am working on something to try out on the 3D printer. I really don't want to ruin it because I would rather be surprised. But maybe once I get it done, then I'll show you guys first before we reveal on mini wargaming or whatever. But yeah, 3D printer. We can do anything with that thing, Gemini, it's only me who's getting some lag in the stream. Yeah, it's possible to get some lag in the stream. Yeah, I'm showing some frames dropped here, but everything seems to be running. I'm still uploading and I'm still transmitting at the usual bit rate, so everything seems to be okay. If the stream seems to stop or whatever for you, just refresh your browser. Thomas Huntley, Kris, are you the one who creates the video intros for Mini Wargaming? What software do I use? The last couple videos have been Rob, our editor. He's been creating a lot of the videos, but like the Gorka Morka campaign, I did the intros for that. For the last couple years, I've been doing a lot of like the little intros, and I get to do a lot of the thumbnails, like for War Machine and the Star Wars, X-Wing and Armada games. I did the intros for those. A lot of the little animated type intros I've done. With the new campaign that Matt's doing, I don't know if he's released any videos for that yet, but Rob had done the intro for that. It's a real nice intro too. Yeah, the sit and talks for the sit and talks, Rob did those ones. But yeah, I think you can kind of tell which ones I did if you know that I did like the 40K bat reps and the Malifaux, Infinity and Star Wars and a lot of the other campaigns. Yeah, I did all those ones. What program do I use? It's a combination of Final Cut 10 with Motion, and I also have a 3D program. It's a really affordable program. It's called Cheetah 3D. If you're on a Mac, it's like $70 for this really excellent 3D modeling program. And it's so easy to use. Like you'll be modeling stuff. You'll be animating, within minutes of just picking this program up and just playing with it. It's not like Blender or 3D Studio Max or anything like that, where like it's got all this, like, it's like, don't get me wrong, those are super great programs, and those are the pro level programs. But like, it's like jumping into the cockpit of like a 747, and you got all these dials and doodads and stuff like that. And you're never going to use them, except for maybe one little instance, where you might need that. But otherwise, your core functionality is just a couple things. You just need just the rudder and the throttle, and what I mean. Like those are the only things you need when you first start to fly, right? And so, Blender is just, it's difficult. It's just because it's overwhelming with all the controls and all its functionality. It's not the user interface is not very friendly. Whereas on the Mac, Cheetah 3D, that's the program, very user friendly, and like I said, you'll be animating in no time. Bad Cow Craze, can you show what you printed again? What is the name of your printer? The printer is a Prusa i3, I think, Mark III. It's not a super high end one. It's I believe it's middle ground. The affordable ones, right? And we're printing with PLA type material, whatever that is. But I mean, it does pretty darn good quality work. I mean, this was, mind you though, this big piece here, this thing's about size of my palm, right? This was 6.5 hours on the machine printing. This was 6.5 hours. Took a long time to print, but it looks good. And a couple of the other pieces that I've done that have a similar design like this, because this is from a set. Some of you might remember a Kickstarter for a 3D terrain bundle, and so the name escapes me, and to them I'll apologize. But we got the files from them to try out, because we were going to do a little bit of promotional for them. And, I think the stuff is great. I mean, it's very grim dark, and, but, yeah. Oh man, I can't remember the name completely escapes me. Printable Terrain or something like that. Terrain Printables. Yeah. Again, if those guys are watching, Sorry, I got your name wrong. Anyway, they had a Kickstarter not too long ago. And so, yeah, we'll be doing a little bit of promo. As soon as we have like a full set printed out, you'll see a video soon enough. And then, of course, probably once we paint it and everything like that, can make it all look pretty. Where am I? David Taylor, I have a master's degree in 3D modeling and I have been working in the industry for 10 years and still don't know what all the buttons do in Maya. Yeah, see, that's another one, Maya. Yeah. Because I've played around with 3D Studio Max. And man, it was like with no instruction, and just kind of just figured out, pain in the ass. Whereas, like I said, Cheetah 3D, man, I mean, like just follow the basic tutorial and then bang, you're making stuff. And the graphics for like my way of the brush here, the way of the brush letters when they fly by, that was what I used in that program. A lot of times, if anybody recalls some of the like in any of the mini wargaming videos, if you'll see like the quick tips and you see like the cube move and like with a lens flare is a different program, but the cube moves and stuff like that, it's like 3D. Again, same program, So, yeah. Where am I in the comments? Caminize. Max is good for modeling with the right plugins. Can be good for stuff as well. Yeah, I mean, like 3D Studio Max and Maya seem to be the industry standards, along with what the heck's the other one? I can't remember what the other one's called now. Anyway, there's another one that's really popular for like film industry. Where am the Mobius? Hey Kris, hey monkeys. Tolo, what is the printer model you got? It's the Prusa i3 Mark III, something like that. Oh, wait, I got the booklet right here. Yeah, so it's the original Prusa i3 Mark II. Oh, I thought it was Mark III. Oops, my bad. Anyway, that's what we're dealing with here. Right there. Just for you guys who really have to know what the heck we're dealing with here. I think Matt had shown it on the Facebook page when we initially got it. We got it about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And so, yeah. Mad Cow Kris, do you know what resolution the printer is? No, I do not. It's got a 0.5 nozzle. 0.5 nozzle, and I got it down to a 0.05 printing for doing, layers and stuff. But that I have to turn the speed down, which is going to, of course, increase, time duration. So, but yeah, I've gotten the nozzle down to 0.05 and printing and laying, filament down. So 0.05. I don't know. I've never tried it any lower. Again, I've just been playing with it and experimenting, So yeah. David Taylor, Maya and Max and all other encompassing programs tend to have a lot of stuff people don't need. I never use rendering or stuff because I work for a game studio. So for a game studio, you never render out graphics. You just what? Just bare models, I guess. Well, I guess so, because like you don't really need. I mean, other than the skins on them, I mean, you don't have to render out anything, right? Because the model is always moving, kind of thing. Like it's alive, kind of thing, I guess. I'm trying to think of what the hell the name. I don't know. I just play the video games. I don't. Oh, the engine does the rendering. Okay. Well, there we go. So basically, is it like game renders? So every frame of the video game I'm looking at, the video game is rendering that frame. That would be very fast, I think. Like just kind of like presenting it as like a rendered frame every couple seconds, because that's fast. Data Wargaming, read emails. Yeah, I think we will have to read emails. David Taylor, yep. Wow, that's crazy. So that would explain why, I guess, like a lot of video games, especially on PC, require so much power. Why require such a huge graphic card, right? It's because it's rendering every second. That's crazy. I never really thought about it like that. Like, I just, there's only so much information I'm storing up here, and so now you guys have fed me some new info, and it's pushed something out. What? Don't know. Tomorrow I might not know how to tie my shoelaces, for all I know. But, yeah, you know what? Let's do an email. Just because we can. This is from Neil Turner. Hey, Kris. Hi, Kris, I should say. Thanks for all the tips and comments you provide on our painting efforts. It is most appreciated. Attached are a few photos of a couple of recently completed miniatures. The Orc Biker was a painting competition at a local gaming store, but sadly not a winner. My Deathwatch team is being painted with green uniforms and not the traditional black. Someone pointed out that they should be black, but I'm happy with the look, ready for a jungle planet deployment in my 40k world anyway. By the way, if we are the monkeys, are you the monkey wrangler? Kind regards, Neil. Where will it pop the button? Neil Turner. And so, yeah, if you're the monkeys, am I the monkey wrangler? I don't know. No. What is it? No, people say the monkey master. But I'm not really one for that kind of title. But anyway. Orky. Very nice. Thanks for transition on teeth here. Let's zoom in a bit. Can we zoom in? Zoom in. Oh, I see you went dark first and then came in. Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. I think a little bit more contrast on the reds. Like another little edge highlight. Like this looks like, say, Mephiston red and Evil Sun scarlet. I think you could have went with Wild Rider red or even Troll Slayer orange. Just a little bit on the edges. Just the very edges. Skin looks good. I like the tones in that. I think a little bit more contrast in the mouth and the eyes. I like the rust in the chains. That's really good. That's all really good. No, it's nice. It's a good paint job. I think you could push the contrast just a little bit more. Like I said, like just a little brighter on the edges on the armor plates. A little bit more contrast in the mouth. The skin, I like the tone of the skin. I want to say I want to see darker tones in there, but I don't really think it's necessary. No, I think it looks good overall. And then I think, weathering. I think, making the corners chipped and painted, all dinged up and stuff like that, I think would really have helped. Yeah. Very good. Nice and neat. Above all, nice and neat. And the paint job, like the paint looks nice and smooth. It looks good. I like the inclusion of the rust in areas. Really good. And so here is his Deathwatch that apparently are a green. So apparently people are telling him it's taboo or it's poo-poo or, don't do it. I say they're your models. You do whatever the hell you want to do with them. You want green Deathwatch? Paint them green. Who's to say that there isn't a Deathwatch unit out there that's not green? Anything's possible in the 40k universe. You guys are making me want to go grab the box of Deathwatch Marines downstairs and paint them up. I'm surprised I haven't gotten many questions for Deathwatch Marines, considering that they were all the rage a few months back. I like the green. It's a bit like a Dark Angels green, but I mean, I like it. It looks good. It actually almost looks like a bit like the 30k Sons of Horse green. That's almost what it looks like. Which would be kind of cool, kind of a throwback kind of thing, Oh, is that it? Oh, that was it. Again, nice and clean. I think the green is an interesting choice. Anybody gives you any slack, just, hey, your models, man. Paint them up however the heck you like. Because, I mean, we all spend enough money on this hobby that, I'm not going to be told what to do with my models. So. The barfing sheep, Taliban green. Taliban green. We have to come up with a modern, inappropriate paint line name, and I like that. That'll be one of the first colors to use is Taliban green. Oh, I'm sure we can all think of inappropriate names for colors. I'm sure. Madcat Crazy, wish you could post links in the chat. Okay. Dr. Xantos, there he is. At Kris, Deathwatch Codex was announced today. Will there be some videos on painting Deathwatch now? Probably not for a bit, because the current project I'm working through is the Warhammer Quest Silver Tower box set. So, that's probably going to be a bit. At least a month, yeah, at least a month. But a lot of people asked for it, so getting it done. I guess a lot of people bought it. And I mean, for anybody who's, not familiar with that box set, it's got some fantastic models, and they're all like original sculpts. I was kind of surprised at that. Like this box set, it's all original sculpts in that box. All the characters. And for anybody who's, kind of curious about Age of Sigmar stuff and things like that, yeah, definitely. And I haven't played the game itself, but it seems like it looks like a pretty well laid out, game. I mean, if it's Warhammer Quest is endless fun. It's it's questing, it's dungeon questing, right? So, but to each his own. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you guys on the game. David Taylor GW has made it quite clear that you are free to paint your models however you want. Yes, exactly. Clayton Tate Jihad red. Donald Trump orange. Dysentery brown. Allah Akbar shade wash. What color is Allah Akbar? Brown? Yes, I went there. Clayton. Obama black. Oh my god. Yeah. Dr. Xantos, Deathwatch is my favorite thing out of 40k at the moment, so got to get the Codex at some point. Yeah. Deathwatch, I mean, to me, like, Deathwatch are kind of, the ultimate, like, idea for Space Marines. And realistically, I think that's how Space Marines would get used, because the galaxy is really huge in 40k, right? It's really, really huge. And there's, like, millions and millions of worlds with billions and billions of people on them, right? But there's only 1,000 chapters of Space Marines, each 1,000 strong. That's got to protect. That's the protection for humanity, right? It's not the Imperial Guard. Like, really, 40k should concentrate more on the Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard are really the heroes of the human universe. Space Marines, okay, yeah, they do some really great stuff, but there's not enough of them. And it really does make sense when they say like that when they talk about Space Marines that they're legendary, that they're almost mythic, that they've never seen them. You only hear about them, right? And nobody's ever really saw Space Marines, and it would make sense because I mean, like 1,000 chapters, 1,000 Marines, like that's not very many in galactic terms. And the way the Death Watch, how he's recruited like special Space Marines for his unit, for his little company of little Xeno killers, that would make more sense. And it's an Inquisitor who's recruited these really kind of best of the best type Space Marines, and then goes out and completes missions, and that's how I really kind of see the Space Marines is like completely special ops. They're not like like if you were gonna invade a planet with drop pods, you wouldn't load it up with Space Marines. You load it up with troops that just bare minimum troops and vehicles, and and you just overwhelm a planet. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna go take an installation, or you knock out a radar station or something like that, that's where you send Marines, right? Is pinpoint precision, attack a specific target that needs to be attacked so that the rest of the army can get down and do their job. That's realism, or a realistic way of portraying Space Marines. Because I mean, like, for Space Marines to do a planetary invasion, it would require the entire chapter to invade one planet, and it doesn't make a lot of sense lore wise that Space Marines are used in such a fashion that the Space Marines should be like special ops, where it's an astropath who's communicating in a tower and he's sending out heretic type signals, and the Space Marines come in and hammer the station, hammer the area, destroy everything, get the astropath or kill him, and then they leave again, and then they're off the planet, and and it's like everybody's like, well, what the heck happened here, Whereas if you're going to do a planetary invasion, you send the Imperial Guard, and really Imperial Guard should be the ones with drop pods, and they shouldn't have Valkyries that fly in gracefully. That's really more of a Space Marine type thing for a craft to have very controlled and come in. So, yeah. I don't know what the heck we're talking about here. Spidey, how many Space Marines does it take to screw in a light bulb? I don't know. How many Space Marines does it take to screw in a light bulb? Oh, what about Grey Knight recruitment? 1 in a million survive the trials. 1,000 chapters, 1,000 Marines is 1 million. So all the Marines in the universe die to create one Grey Knight. Yeah, exactly. Right? Even Grey Knights is the lore is even worse for them. There should be no armies for Grey Knights. You should not be able to field an army of Grey Knights, because that would be such a rare occurrence, right? And the Grey Knights are supposed to be the ones who are, watching for incursions from the warp space that demons are coming through, and then they come in, close it up like Ghostbusters, get the demon, and then leave, right? And so, yeah. Barbershoot, I love it when Kris gets into the realism that should be 40K. Well, because it gets me pissed off sometimes, just some of these things. Like, okay, well, even like you look at Space Marine vehicles, right? Like the Storm Talon, everything up to the Storm Eagle. Okay? Those things should not fly. They're not aerodynamic. They shouldn't be able to fly. Unless, of course, you're relying on just pure thrust or really low gravity. But otherwise, those things could not fly. They're other than just the amount of thrust that they should be able to put out, that they're more or less just rockets, and they just power their way through something, in which case they're just going so fast that really they're not that effective. That it's dumb. The designs are dumb. Where are we? Plague Lord 40K1 Chaos says screw it and send everything. Read Storm of Iron, great book. Iron Warriors win. McWhiskey, all I heard you say there is Marines better than the Army. Better? I don't know about better, but different job roles. Yeah, screw it. I got family in the Marines. Yeah, Marines. Marines are better. Barbecue sheep, I feel you, Kris. I have the same train of thought. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it's just, yeah. And you know what? And yeah, of course, I am saying Marines are better because, like I said, I've got tons of family in the Marines, and yeah, I'm gonna say go Marines. Let's do an email. This is from Kurt Cushon. Kris, I thought I'd send pics of mostly finished Glacier King. Need to do the basing and maybe a little more highlighting and such. Also thought I sealed with semi-gloss. Was thinking of going back and doing all the ice with Ardcoat. Thanks again for having such a wonderful show. And so let's have a look at his Glacier King. And for those not familiar with this model, the Glacier King is from Hordes, which is from Privateer Press. This thing is a big old model. How big is that? It's a good 12 inches big. It's big anyway, for those not familiar with it. I love the veins. I like the color. I think a little bit more brightness in the eyes, maybe. I don't know. Well, you're not done yet, right? So you're gonna still like do some edge highlighting on the big crystals and everything, or the icicles, I should say. Very cool. Yeah. Very, very cool. I like that a lot. I like the snow, it's all gathered up on here. This is gonna be something when you're done. Hope I mean by the time I've read this, I don't even know if you've even finished this or not. But yeah, the crystals though, yeah, I think the edge highlighting on the crystals would just really bring all of them out, or the icicles, I should say. The loincloth, I don't know. Like I know you have the brown on the nails. I don't know if the nails would be brown. If they'd be more, whitish or even bluish. And then loincloth. I mean, the brown plays nicely with the blue, but you get the greens in there. Got lots of greens. Like this almost feels like rock with algae almost. I know it's not, but kind of has a bit of that vibe to it. I don't know if I had to do or maybe just lighten up the brown, so it's not so brown. Was that it? That wasn't just the two pictures, was it? It was. Look at all the detail, all the cracks. But I like the vein work, man. That's really cool. Very nice, Kurt. Very nice. I like. Very cool. I don't know if you've finished this model yet or what, but feel free to send me more. Kurt Krishon, I haven't touched it since then. Working on some other stuff. Built a Panzer IV model and started messing with scale models. Yeah, see, me too. I haven't touched a whole lot of my 4K. I was working on my Wraith Guard, and then the Star Wars models kind of took a bug. I've also been working on my Millennium Falcon, and my Millennium Falcon is just taking forever. I'm done the top half of the Millennium Falcon, but all of that, all the little panels and stuff like that, that's all decals. It's all transfers, and I probably can't see them, but there's like other tiny little red dots here and there, and like little warning signals and stuff like that. This guy is just taking me forever to do, but he's almost done. But I mean, once I get into the weathering, then it's going to be a lot of fun. I was thinking about filming the weathering, actually, just to kind of show you guys, kind of what I was doing for my Star Wars model, because I've been doing it pretty much. Yeah, I've been doing all those Star Wars models pretty much how ILM describes how they used to do the weathering on their production models, and so yeah, which is basically they just lay the color down, take a rag, and wipe it off, and just do it like that. Which is not how we do with our models, right? We don't really do shade washes and pick up panel lines and things like that in that nature. We're usually much more controlled, or laying it down and stuff like that, rather than just kind of splashing it on and then wiping it off, splashing it on and wiping it off. Anyway, Mad Cow Crazy, 1 in a million to create a Grey Knight, the most incorruptible Marines in the universe. Still needed a sister of battle blood to protect them from chaos taint that some sisters could resist without any training. Ward. Right, exactly, Exactly. What does it mean? What does it all mean? Don't know. I've never read that one, though. They need the sister of battle blood to protect them. It's kind of crazy. And it's kind of cool, too. I mean, then why not just send Sisters of Battle all the time? Because Sisters of Battle are part of the Heretic, or the Ordos Heretic. And because Grey Knights are under Ordo Malus, and Death Watch is under Ordos Xenos of the Inquisition. But why would one order need the other order to survive, right? They should be self-contained. Again, you know, the realism in 40K. Kirkushon, yeah, the loincloth was painted separate from the model, so it might not match per se. I didn't. I did the nails with my bone recipe, light brown egg racks. Oh, okay, so you are bringing them up to a screaming skull or a skull white. Okay. And the loincloth, yeah, I'd do something different with the loincloth, like a different fur. I wouldn't go brown, or if you go brown, go like a really kind of desaturated brown, and allow the white and the blues and the greens and the purples on the model himself really to dominate, because the eye is kind of drawn into that loincloth area because it's such a strong color amidst all that pale. And so yeah, I'd bring the loincloth down a bit, or desaturate that brown or something like that, you know. Something. Dr. Xantos, that reminds me, a fellow club member has a problem with the decals being too bright and on the model. Any tips for that? When the decals are too bright, I don't know. Because I mean, like, once I get to weathering this guy, that's going to take those decals way down. The brightness is going to get knocked right out of them. Is it alcohol? I'm pretty sure like alcohol or turpentine sitting right on top of the decal. Like once it's settled and, you know, on the surface, you can lay it on and it'll like desaturate that color. How you gotta be really careful though, because I mean you could end up, you know, re-soaking the transfer and then it could lift off, or it could end up breaking and shattering and, you know, coming off the model. So I really wouldn't do that. Your best bet is to, you know, lay a thin layer of like the base color and kind of on top. And that would desaturate, or even like grays and stuff like that. See, like the Millennium Falcon, the panels are really, really bright, but I know that once I start getting into the weathering, it's gonna knock all those colors way down, and they're not gonna be the same. Bum 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 bum. Where am I? Despite you, how did they get such a large supply of sister blood without killing them? I imagine it was time sensitive. No. Mad Cow says no. They killed them. They slaughtered them. You guys are off on a funny track right now. What time are we at? 10:02. Let's do another email. This is from Zine. Hello again, Kris and the monkeys, of course. It's Zine here. Zine? Yeah, I think it's Zine. Thank you for the comments on my Eldar. It means a lot. Canopy is painted black in the front and just a gloss on top. The lighting effect was indeed very subtle dry brushing, no blending or glazing, but there was a semi-gloss varnish protector at the end. The Wraith Knight was not attached to the base. I also paint the model before attaching to the base. Here are a few other models to appease you, as the Knight is still a work in progress. And I wanted to thank you for the feedback as soon as I could. Zine, again, thanks. Again, the name Butcher strikes again. The Y in Zine is the same as I. I hope that helps. So, Zine? 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 Sounds like I'm speaking German now. Zine. Nine. Anyway. Here's his autark. Very cool. When you're dry brushing, again, keep your brush, like when you're doing cloth like this, okay? And you got like, say you got it like, say Eshin Gray was your base. And then you came with Null Oil, and you just pushed it in just close to the buckles. You changed the overall tint. And then you came in with something like, say, I don't know, let's say you came in with Mechanicus Gray. And you started dry brushing. When you dry brush, and you have the black up in here, you have the dark of the body, and you're going to begin laying in highlights. when you're dry brushing, I would start at the bottom point here because this is where your color is going to build up the most to get brighter, if that's the way you want to highlight it, of course, which usually is the way everybody does it, and you know, it looks pretty cool. Only come about 2/3 the way up, or 3/4 the way up. You know, stop your brush strokes around here somewhere. Allow more of the gray to build up here, and then let it fade off this way. Then you come in with something like administratum gray, and then you build more administratum gray here, and then you only come about, you know, 1/3 of the way, or, you know, less than half the way come up, and you just finish off those brush strokes like that. That way you create a gradient, and the eye sees that color gradient goes from dark to light. And you can also do the same thing with your main cloaks, cloths and stuff like that. You know, you start off darker blue, and you can build out to the brighter blue at the outer edges. And of course, because you're dry brushing, you're not gonna hit the insides of these folds, right? So you're just gonna catch these raised edges, and yeah. And of course, the other thing is that when you are dry brushing, or you know you're going to be dry brushing areas, make sure your paint is nice and smooth, just to avoid a bit of that chalkiness. Now, you can take a bit of that chalkiness out of the model by using glazes. Like the bottles, like the colors right out of the bottle, you can use them, and then they'll just knock the transitions right down. They'll knock that overall chalkiness down. So it's also something else to consider. Very nice. I like the work on the back. I like your freehanding there. It's really good. Ooh, swoopy conks. Very nice. Very good. Me likey. I like your nice little subtle highlights on the guns. The nice black guns. It's very good. Yes. Good. Good. Oh, was that it? That was it. That was it. That was all. That's all he was going to share with us. Zine. Zine, I don't know. Zine? He said I, which is I. So Zine? Does that sound right? Zine? I don't know. Where the hell am I in these comments? Dear Taylor, Kris, sometimes you spend more time trying to pronounce people's names than reading the email. Well, I'm because I'm trying to get it right, damn it. I mean, like, you know, I'm not perfect. You know, I mean, I want to try and get some of these names down right, because, you know, sometimes they write back, and, you know, I want to, you know, because sometimes it's in somebody else's, like, native tongue. And, you know, like, I'm trying to get, like, the accent or the inflection right, and so, can you do? I mean, you know, you can't please everybody, but, you know, try. Full Metal Haggis. That's a fun name. Oh, joy, Ward would be the death of 40K. What? Oh, well, the whole thing about Matt Ward come back? I don't know about that. I don't think so. Yeah, the whole Necron Blood Angels thing, the bromance. Yeah, that was dumb. That was some ill-chosen decisions. That wargaming Matt Ward returns. No. Thomas Huntley, I like Zine's work. I like his work too. It's very nice. I like it. It's clean. I like, you know, a lot of the colors aren't pushed too far. Again, it's clean, and he's not afraid to freehand. He's not afraid to, you know, keep things simple, which I like. I like simple paint jobs. I like especially on Eldar and Space Marines. You know, when there's not a whole lot of, you know, color going on. Even Space Marines, like when they're weathered really heavily, they tend to look very muddy. Like very not muddy, like in the sense that there's actual mud on them, but like the color is just kind of muddy, and you know, it just doesn't read right. You know, it looks fine on camera because the camera can see all that, whereas our eyes don't. And so when you're looking at it on the table, it's like, you know, I don't know if it's any good. You know, so. The Green Newt here for the wonderful voice and knowledge of Kris once again. Thomas Huntley, his basing looks simple and effective. Yeah, the base is just some colored lichen, some, you know, grass tufts, some sand, just to vary it up a bit. You know, yeah. I mean, It's not rocket science, you know. I mean, like, and he's obviously happy with his models. He's very comfortable with his models. He's very comfortable with his painting. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be, you know, showing off his work like that, right? And so that's good, you know. I mean, like, you know, it's a lot of confidence, and so, you know, when we start to feel really confident in our work, that's when we really start to improve, because we, you know, I mean, like all this other stuff is like, yeah, I can handle that. That's no problem. Let's tackle something new. Let's try wet blending. Let's try two brush blending. Let's play with retardant. Let's play with, you know, contrasting colors. Let's do something. Let's do a monochromatic color scheme. You know, and it just, you know, once you start feeling more and more confident in your abilities, yeah, you start taking on more and more things. And, you know, again, like it's like when you've mastered base coating, thinning down your paints and laying down a nice smooth base coat. Once you feel like you've mastered that, yeah, you feel like you just handle everything else, you know, because you pretty much can. And yeah, it's, you know, it's all about your personal growth, repetition, and, you know, getting it done. And that's all I'm here to say, is that you guys can get better all the time. It just, you know, you got to sit down and do the work is all. A lot of people think like airbrushing is a quick way to, you know, get wonderful looking models, and it's not. That's a falsehood. Because airbrushing is just as nuanced as paintbrush painting, and there's a lot of things to master in both. Dave Taylor Data, if you didn't send your emails a few weeks ago, it's unlikely to be gotten to today. I don't know. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence there, Dave. But, you know, I mean, we might get to them today. I could just end up hammering through a whole bunch here. In fact, got me all pissed off now. I'm going to read another email. This is from Bo. Hey, Kris, to clear this all up, as it's getting confusing, a few episodes back, we talked about getting a model commissioned by one of the many commission company. Oh wait, I don't think this was for Way the Brush. yeah, we were talking because some of you might recall we were talking about he was showing Necrons that were done by Awaken or Den Imagination, one of the two. Anyway, and you know, he was talking about the color schemes that he's doing and getting done, and so yeah. I just couldn't really recall if the pictures were his or if they were theirs or anything, because I don't want to be showing off anybody's pictures who don't really have permission to show off the pictures. That's what the main beef is. It's just, you know, yeah. David Taylor, something I've found a lot in artistic fields is that people spend all their time looking for that some super secret technique, and for it to actually sit down and practice. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly it. And one of my favorite quotes, I believe, is from Picasso, is inspiration often finds us when we're working. And I think that's very true. Inspiration is not going to come when you're, you know, sitting on the toilet, in the shower, you know, driving your car, riding your bike, whatever. Inspiration is going to come when you're sitting at your workstation and you're putting together models and you're painting your models, and you know what I mean, and you're just kind of going through the work, and then you get the idea, oh, what if I try this? Or you know, maybe you're watching how the bristles of the brush bend across the surface, and also it might spark an idea on something, you know, one of those kind of things, right? So yeah. Data Wargaming, go through the emails. I'm not here next week, so if it isn't got to today, could you make a note and not to read it till next week? What? No. Do an email. Neil Turner. Hi, Kris. Thanks for all your great advice on Way the Brush over the past few months. I do not have a Space Wolf army, but I like the look of the Dreadnought model with all its different elements. The murder kill Dreadnought. I completed it with no particular variant, but just used things in the box that I wanted to include, and I'm looking to improve my painting with each model little by little. See, there it is. So any comments or advice on weaker areas of the finish that catch your eye would be much appreciated. Kind regards, Neil Turner. And so let's have a look at his models. And right off the hop, I don't see anything that jumps out at me like, oh my god. I think really where you're going to start to want to expand your abilities is in creating the contrast on the models, like the fur, the gray. Nice light dry brushing on the armor. It looks like you switch between like an edge highlight and then dry brushing as well, which is fine. I mean, you switch up techniques. One technique isn't meant to be just, solely used for one purpose, And so, again, like using shade washes on the face, again, increasing that contrast, because again, the eye is immediately drawn to areas like this, right? And so you'll really want to spend a lot of time, getting that down. I think the claws work all right. I think the lightning bolts could come just a little bit further. But again, if you're not comfortable with, drawing really fine lines, then that's fine. Although you'll find that if you come a little bit further, it allows you the opportunity more to kind of create those bends and, get those kind of wavy type patterns. Your gemstones look like they're colored in the right directions, which is a good thing. Your layout of the gold on top of the grays is neat. Like I see on the leg here, it looks nice and neat. Come on, next picture. Here we go. Oh, he's got these little runes on his claws. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, like, okay, for these wolf pelts, I often like the way they used to do them back in the day, where they're really dark up near their spine and really bright near their claws. So basically, it's like Dryad bark, Agrax Earthshade, and then dry brushed light brown, like like Baneblade brown or something like that, and then dry brushed with like Screaming Skull or Shabti Bone, more like Screaming Skull or Shabti, whichever. Another fun one is to wet blend the fur. So you start off with the darker colors, work with your midtones, and then the highlights as well, and you wet blend them, and then you dry brush it afterwards, and you pick out all those high points, and you have this beautiful color blend along with dry brushing. And so, yeah, just something else to think about. Yeah, very cool. Again, like I said, yeah, it's getting the contrast right. The holes in the exhausts. I mean, they should be a darker color, just to create that illusion that they're hollow, or that they go into darkness kind of thing. Like they're holes in the structure, right? Things like that. The panel lines could be darker, The runes, very cool. I like the runes, actually. I would have reversed the order in which you laid the color, though. I would have went with a slightly darker blue on the outside and white on the inside, and that would have gave it a kind of glow. Just my opinion. Again, when you're dry brushing, make sure there's a lot of the paint is removed from the brush, just so you don't get these little brush strokes and everything happening. Otherwise, very, very cool. Yeah. Again, Reichland flesh shade on that face, re-highlight with the base tones, and then introduce some lighter flesh tones in there, and yeah, spend a little bit more time on that face. Just because faces tend to be, center of attraction on a model, the eyes are often immediately drawn to the face, and it's a great way to you know, show off your abilities. You know, holy moly, comments. I don't know. Dad of Wargaming is talking about something here. Lord of Midgets data. Since life and reaction to other actions set in stone billions of years ago, what will be because those reactions are going to go on forever in all things for all time. Deep. Despite you, I think he's smoking Zeen's toenails. Aye. That's gross. Dada, I think I did leave my glue lid off. No, I mean that's. I mean that's very like it's very insightful. It's interesting, you know. But how do we know that things are even possible? It's infinitely impossible, possibly possible that anything at all is possible. But wouldn't that be infinitely improbable, not infinitely impossibly impossible? It'd be highly improbable. Infinitely improbable? No. I think humanity, I mean, we're just barely understanding what infinity truly is. Neil Turner, thanks, Kris. Something for me to keep in mind on the future models. Yeah. Just when you're dry brushing, just make sure you keep a lot of that paint off the bristles. I find even using like the new Citadel Dry, they're really good. You gotta wipe, like you just kind of dunk it in, wipe the excess off really, really good. But I find that you can use the brush a lot longer. It just seems like a lot more pigment sits inside the bristles, and you can dry brush. But again, when you're dry brushing, it's all about how much paint is in those bristles and how light your hand is. Your hand has to be very, very light when you're going across. Very, very light. If you feel the model moving in your hand, you're dry brushing a little too heavily. You always want to keep a nice light brush stroke. Where are we? Lord of Midges, do we have any recommendations for cheap Beastmen models? Cheap Beastmen models. Doesn't was it Mantic? Doesn't Mantic sell Beastmen models? And usually Mantic sells for pretty darn good prices. One of their boxes that we had a whole bunch at one point, and I should have snapped them up when we were getting rid of them, was the zombies. There was like I think 20 or 40 to a box for like $30 or $20. Man, it's a good price. I mean, and just for zombies. I mean, because at some point or other, we always need a big horde of zombies for our games. At some point. Lane Stanquist. Yay, second week in a row joining for the live chat, having a chance to sit and paint. Well, good. I'm glad you get a chance to sit and paint and listen. More important, though, you get a chance to sit and paint. Lord of Midges, look, man, I'm just a monkey on the ball of dirt. Can't explain the universe, but I can tell you how to have a good time with some rubbing alcohol, a bottle of super glue, and some crack cocaine. Oh, man. David Taylor, Avatars of War has amazing Beast Lord hero. Yeah. Full Metal Haggis. Kris, are you happy to see a new plastic Eldrad model? Apologies if I already discussed. Kind of touched on it earlier. I am excited for a new Eldrad model. I'm not excited that the fact that it's got to come within this big box set of other models. Although the new Deathwatch look awesome and Artemis looks awesome, and so and of course, I mean, I could always use more Harlequins. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna have to get a box because Deathwatch, Artemis. I mean, Artemis, he's the iconic Deathwatch Marine. I mean, only because of the Inquisition game and the fact that he was the only one that was really kind of flushed out as a character kind of thing. But Artemis is back, and that's cool. and Eldred's back, and he's plastic. So no more like, kind of hieroglyphic look of him, where because he's standing with his staff like this, and he's perfectly flat, right? And I think I remember reading somewhere that Eldrad was like one of the last single cast pewter models that he had sculpted. It was like everything else was a little bit more dynamic or a multi-part kind of thing. He was the last like one piece kind of models that he did. Anyways, and I mean like his pose is like, his staff and his arm is this way and his sword is going off this way and his staff's going this way, but he's full on like looking that way. It's just, or it's the other way. His sword's that way. I don't know. Anyway, a much more dynamic looking Eldrad, I think, is much appreciated. I think. Data, have you seen the Codex Death Watch? Have the rules been leaked? No. Look on Fate. They have half the rules on there. Plague Lord, can't wait for the rumored Plastic Karn model. A plastic, I've not heard of Plastic Karn. Although I imagine everything will go plastic. I mean, it's inevitable, right? Years and years and years and years and years ago, Games Workshop said that they wanted their entire line plastic. They wanted the entire line plastic. And, it's taken, I guess, like 10, 15 years. But slowly they're getting there, right? And, all plastic models, I'm fine with that. I mean, plastic kicks ass. The only thing is the weight, it's the light, right? A lot of people who like the pewter models, it's because of the weight. It's got some, it's got some heft to it, and some gravity. David Taylor, didn't they do a 45mm Artemis too? Yeah, Inquisitor scale. He was yay big. Really kick-ass model. It was awesome. Mad Cow Crazy. The only plastic thing we need are Sisters of Battle. Again, yeah. Lane Stanquist, is there an Eldar HQ in the start collecting Eldar box, a new sculpt, or is it the older model that's been reboxed? He looks pretty darn cool. In the Eldar collecting box, I think it's a plastic autark, isn't it? Or is there an HQ in it? If there's a plastic HQ, it's most likely the autark, because the autark has a plastic form now. Lord of Midgets, did you see the brutal emissary from Malifaux? It's a huge model with a goat skull head carrying a dude in a cage. It is a really neat model. No, I didn't see that. Sounds crazy. Clayton Tate, episode 127. Waiting for Plastic Eldrad and Abomadon Black. Like, how black is Abomadon? I mean, black, because he's not really black, he's more of a dark, he's more like dark dryad bark color. He's not quite black. Oh, and Airman, plastic Airman, yeah, that'd be awesome. Benjamin Halfon, Kris, you are Alfarius. I'm Alfarius. No, I am Alfarius. I'm not Alfarius. I've been accused of being Lionel. That's the one. If we're all Primarchs, if we were all Primarchs here in the studio, Quirk is Alfarius. I'm Lionel. I'm Lionel Johnson. I don't know. Cuskurian? Kris, what are your least favorite aspect warriors? Oh, man. Least favorite? The ones who don't get as much love from me, I suppose, as Warp Spiders. I just haven't played with them in a long time, not since 2nd edition. My nerd rage kicked in full blast when they nerfed my Warp Spiders. Otherwise, Shining Spears. Shining Spears is probably my least, because I don't own any, and I really don't see a need to take him. Now, mind you, there's one fellow who comes in and he plays Eldar, and he throws in the Autark with the Shining Spears, and he puts the Banshee mask on the Autark, and he's on jet bike. The Autark's on jet bike with the Banshee mask, with the Shining Spears, and I thought that's a damn good combo right there. I never even thought of that. I never even considered that one, because again, right now the Banshee mask is such a great weapon, and I'm surprised you don't see more Banshees in Eldar armies, because right now Banshees can charge without getting overwatched to death, and which means like Tau armies are completely kneecapped at that point. And so Shining Spear army, or a Shining Spear unit with the Autark riding, and they come flying in, charging in, bang. Oh, you can't overwatch? Too bad. Bah, 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 bah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Plague Lord. Episode 127, Way of the Inappropriate Paint Names. I like it. Way of the Inappropriate Paint Names. Hold on here. I'm just adding this in. Da, 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 da. Boom. Boom. Way of the Inappropriate Paint Names, yeah. I mean, it'd be fun to have inappropriate paint names, but I mean, really, what are we like? Who are we catering to when we come up with those? I don't know. So, to you, Hyman Sanguinius, you are Sanguinius, so you're just this pretty blonde guy with wings. David Taylor, Kris has too much hair to be a Primarch. No, I don't have too much hair. It's just, I mean, look at Sanguinius. Sanguinius has got long hair. The Emperor is always depicted with long hair. People used to make the comment too that there's an old drawing of the Emperor, and like Lehman Russ is in like the foreground, and like there's a whole scattering of Space Marines, and they often refer to that one as the Native American Emperor. I don't know why, because I guess because he's got like this headband on, and he's got the long black hair. But yeah, they used to call it the Native American Emperor, and so I thought that was kind of funny that of all the Emperor being a Native American guy, that would be kind of funny. Lord of Midget, since we are now discussing politics, Kris, we're discussing politics, really? Do you think 9/11 was an inside job by the lizard people or the mole people? Which mutant race are you going to support when they reveal themselves? Well. Oh, we could. You know what? We could go on for hours about 9/11 stuff. Lizard people, that's really kind of stretching it for me. Mole people, I wasn't even really aware of the mole people. I know the lizard one. But the whole 9/11 inside job thing, yeah, I mean, we can go on for hours with that one. Ronnie Sugden, Kris, frequently asked questions, says that the other units around Tau models can still overwatch even with Banshee masks. No way. So, I mean, well then how the hell does that work? Because isn't it dependent upon him being able to fire that they can link off him? How can they link off him if he can't fire? Unless, of course, they're saying, unless they rule it that they're still considered overwatching. It's just that they can't, or some dumb BS like that. Well, then either way, we'll just have to charge more units into them so they can't. Because that's the only way you can solve it. Just charge more. Just send more people in. Send more. Lane Sandquist. Kris, how many of the Horse Heresy novels have you read or liked most? You know what? I know. Shame on me. I have not started yet the Horse Heresy books. I've been meaning to. I know because one of my favorite authors for GW, Dan Abnett, he writes a few of them. But yeah, I haven't read any of them. I've read a bunch of like the other ones. Like my favorite series from of 40K novels is the Gaunt's Ghost stuff. That's my favorite. Those are my favorite ones. Dan Abnett is a superb writer, and he really captures the character, and he can really get you behind the character, and then all of a sudden takes it away from you, and you're like, oh my god, no, what? Oh no, he just killed that character. I mean, like, I just spent the last book and a half liking this guy, and all of a sudden, bang, he's hit, and you know what I mean? It's like, oh no, oh no, oh, and I cried and I cried. Yeah, so anyway, but no, I haven't read any of the Horse Heresy books. I know, shame on me. I really should. David Taylor, Kris, do you know the mole people? No, I don't know the mole people. I've never heard those theories. The lizard men, the lizard people stuff. Yeah, I've heard those ones before, but not the mole people. Oh man, here's a name and a half. Panayatis Constantinou. Piana. Man, I'm gonna go get through that once, I think. Anyway, hi Kris. Do you play 30K? Which legion do you like the most? Tell the other guys that have been a long time since they've made a Horse Heresy vlog. Yeah, it has been a while since the guys, because the other projects been doing. Yeah, we were really wild up with the 30K there. Not that we're not now. It's just other projects there and just kind of getting away. Other people finishing off armies. I don't know, like right now, Steve, he's finishing off his Dark Angels and doing something else. Anyway. But anyway, yeah. As far as myself, like 30K, I like 30K. I would like to, if I was going to go anything, I'd probably go Imperial Fist with, under like Alexis Pollock. Or I would go Death Guard under Typhus. Yeah. Something like that would be fun. Just nothing but Terminators with the Reapers. I think it'd be really cool. Kesker. Inappropriate paint name suggestion. No. Yeast infection yellow? No. Lord of Midgets, Kris confirmed for being a mole person, denies they exist and is trying to brainwash us. That's why he's why we never see his feet inside his claws. Oh, there we go. Foot. Right there. And do mole people drink coffee? I don't think so. That of Wargaming, episode 127. Smurfs for the Smurf God, cheese for the cheese throne, death for the good fluff. Death to the good fluff. Oh, Matt Ward has returned. It's kind of like, Ghostbusters, it's like, choose the destroyer. It's Matt Ward. Man, we're still on this paint name thing. Lane Stanquist, I've read about 26 of the Horse Heresy novels, and they just really suck you in once you get into it. I know, and see that thing, yeah. And Dan Abnett is an excellent author. Yeah, like I said, he's one of my favorites. Obamadan versus the mole people. Wargren, does that move count as leg day? Yeah, it does, actually. It does count as leg day. Is that a fat joke? Clay Tate sounds like a Godzilla movie. That does sound like a Godzilla movie. Obamadan versus the mole people. Oh, here's his name again. Peniatis Constantinu. Yeah, Constantinu. I was going to say Constantinu. How long have you been painting miniatures? Oh my gosh. Been a long time since I asked this question. I have been painting miniatures since I was, since about 88, 89. 89, I'd say about 89. 88, 89. That's when I kind of really got into it. Discovered it, and yeah. started painting. Space Hulk was the gateway in. I love Aliens the movie and Space Hulk. It was everything that was described in Aliens, and it was described. The Marines are in the corridors fighting against these gene stealers, and in desperate combat. And so I was like, oh, mommy, you gotta buy me this. And so bought it. Miniatures. Gotta paint the miniatures. Oh, gotta paint the miniatures. So then I used to paint my miniatures with testers, enamels, Ralpartha acrylics, Citadel colors. Yeah, the worst though to use was the testers enamels. That was like those little, they came in the little glass bottles. Yeah, I used to use those on my miniatures, on my Imperial Guard and Terminators, and oh yeah, just bad. Don't do it. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a long time. So I'd say 80, 89 is about when I started. Was I any good? No, I was not any good. Do I wish I had the amount of resources that the internet provides today? If they had it back when I was starting painting, my gosh, I'd probably be a little bit better. Maybe just a hair. But yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's my story. Lane Stanquist, Imperial Fists are hard to take seriously after having seen a meme that just had Imperial Fist standing there with the quote, "You're insistent on a fistin'." Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, did you see the fists? They're huge. Constantinu, LOL, my name is Greek and that's why it's hard to spell it. No kidding. Is that why they say it's all Greek to me? It's all Greek to me. I don't know. Despite you, I started with testers too. I was born in '88. Wow. Clayton, testers and enamel means burnt brain cells and spilling paint everywhere. They always fell over. Yeah. Well, the thing is like I didn't have a painting station. I didn't have like anywhere to paint, and my mom would not let me paint on my kitchen table, so I was painting in my room. And so what I used to do is I used to take like old boxes and cut them, and then I'd set that down and on the cardboard on the floor. And of course, the carpet was like it wasn't shag carpet, but it was, it was really thick and shaggy kind of. It wasn't shag carpet, but it was shaggy carpet. Anyway, and so yeah, the stuff would fall all the time, and yeah. Constantly, do you do commission paint? No, I do not. I did a long time ago, late 90s, early 2000, and I hated it. Hated it. Did not enjoy it. I'm not one of those kind of robotic kind of painters. I've got like a lot of times when I sit down to paint, I kind of have to be in the mood. I kind of try to work on something. I kind of force myself when I sit down, but once I start getting into something, then I start getting into something. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, if I don't feel like painting, it's hard to get that motor running. Alucard 86.9. Oh man, I hate when work gets in the way of my hobby. Were you late again? Is that what it is? You're just checking in. Damn you, Navy. LOA. LOLA. Lola. Let's do an email. This is from Nico. Yeah, Nico. Anyway, hello, Kris. Love from Norway. Amateur painter Nico here. Praise chaos. That's it. And he just wants to show off his hell brutes. His brutes of hell. Very cool. Let's zoom in a bit here. Hold on. Let's have a look at this Mr. Blue here. Looks like he was taken with his cell phone. It's a little bit blurry. But the colors don't look too bad. It's kind of hard to see if the paint's a little heavy, but not bad. I think with this guy here, it's a little bit darker. I think, oh no, because he looks like he's more like Iron Warriors. Okay, because he's got the horns black. I do the horns like something a little bit brighter, like bone, just so they can they stand out, from the armor and everything like that. Oh, I get it. So he's like Korn, Iron Warriors, and oh, this thing's pissed me off. And Zinch or Alpha Legion, maybe? Who's this guy in the background? Who the heck is that guy? Looks like some sort of demon prince. What's the guy in the background? Who is he? But very cool. Hell Brutes. Thank you, Nico, for sending that in. Nice and even paint jobs. I mean, I like how you've done like your tentacles and stuff like that, but it's kind of hard to see if you've painted your flat areas. Again, I think it's just because of the cell phone. Because I'm assuming you took this picture off a cell phone. But otherwise, very nice work. Send in more, please. Please. Sorry, kind of spaced out there. Where am I? David Taylor, I can't batch paint either. I have so many started armies where I painted all the characters, then quit once I got to the infantry. Yeah, same here. Pretty much from here. Mad Cow Crazy, don't lie. You do commission painting. Everyone does. It's just a matter of price. If I offered you $1,000 to paint a single Space Marine, you'd do it and sing while it's doing it. Okay, well, PayPal is the same as my email address, so send me $1,000 and I'll do a Space Marine for you. And I'll video it, me singing the entire time. Yeah, send me $1,000. I will film the entire process. It'll be like a tutorial where I sing the entire time. Keskuria and Kris, do you have a favorite painting artwork? Like a favorite artist, like out of history? That's very, very tough. I'm a fan of Picasso. I'm a fan of Da Vinci's work. I'm a fan of Rembrandt. Yeah, I'm a fan of a lot of artists. Various pieces. I mean, like I like the precision from the Renaissance. Rembrandt. I like his later years when he was simply just painting with a palette knife. I found that very compelling. And Picasso, as a modern. Well, he's not. Well, I guess he's modern still. A modern genius, So, yeah. Those are both the ones. But as far as a favorite painting, no, I can't think of any particular one. Okay, School of Athens is it? School of Athens. Type that in. School of Athens. It's a great piece. It pretty much teaches you everything you need to know about composition. Is about it. School of Athens, the painting. Look it up. That's by Michelangelo? No, Raphael? I don't think it was by Da Vinci. Or is it by Da Vinci? I can't remember now. Anyway. Where are we in the comments? I don't know what we're all talking about here. Full Metal Haggis singing as the Swedish chef. Despite you singing Katy Perry's Firework. Dude, you send the money, man. I'll make the video. Oh man, Lord admitted Chris's idea of being a fan is blowing hair out of his face, twirling around. He heard fans make people cool and decided to be the source of all things cool in the world using his mighty lungs. I wish that were true, but my lungs ain't so mighty as they used to be. Years and years of abuse. Yeah. Alucard. Time to go fund me a Swedish Chef video. Raphael, yeah, okay, yeah, it's Raphael, yeah. Raphael's work, I mean, like, he's got some really great ones. Caravaggio, he's another great one. He's another great artist back in the day. But yeah, from the Renaissance. Well, like it's the period I like. Da Vinci, I mean, he edges out in a lot of the Renaissance pieces. But yeah, my favorite Renaissance piece is School of Athens. That, like I said, that piece teaches you everything you need to know about composition. Well, maybe not everything. All the rules and all the rules to break them. There we go. Where am I? Pescurian, although it apparently robs me of my ability to spell. David Taylor, Kris, if you didn't work at mini wargaming as a painter, what would you do for work? Well, what I was doing for work before mini wargaming, okay, in a nutshell, I went to college for art, and then got into security, and then I was a supervisor for security at a hospital. And basically, you're dealing with, patients come in who are ODing and, people who are psychic, are mentally disturbed, you know, all these different things the security guards needed it for at a hospital. But it was really good, though. I mean, and I didn't smoke at that time because, I had quit smoking because it was doing a lot of running, there was a lot of physical activity, and a lot of responsibilities, stuff like that. And then I had left that and then went and started driving cab. And that's what I was doing before mini wargaming, was driving cab. And that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun driving cab. I got a lot of stories that could share, not in here, but every cab driver can tell you a lot of stories. A lot of stories kind of sound the same because a lot of similar things happen. But yeah, there's all sorts of different things. And then, kind of got to the point where I was just wasn't, as happy. I mean, the cab driving cab was, a lot of opportunities for making extra money, things like that, and, things. And so at some point you're like, I just no. And so at the time, Mini Wargaming was hiring, and I put my name in, and I was working remotely from my home at the time, which was Sault Ste. Marie, which is in northern Ontario. And if anybody who's not familiar with that is, if you look at the globe, okay, you look at North America, you see where the Great Lakes are, you see where all the Great Lakes kind of converge at one point. That's where it is. And that's where I was living. And that's where my home territory is. And I did that for not quite a year, about a little over half a year. Because I think I was hired in the fall, and I think it was around the springtime, it was around the springtime, and I just said to Matt and Dave, I was like, hey, let's step up these videos. I know I can produce more, and I know I can produce some really great stuff. I says, so because when they hired me, it was one condition was that possibility of moving down here, and so we had talked about it in the past, but. And so finally I gave him a call. I said, let's step this up a bit. And I said, I'll move down there. Let's, go to full time, and, let's do this. Let's make more videos. Let's ramp this up. And so I did. I come down here a month later, got the family down here, and been here since. And, it's been great, I mean, where else? Unfortunately, I can't work a normal job again. I can't. I just can't. I mean, I get to play and paint with miniatures all day long. I get to convert and assemble, and I get to play with 3D printer all day long. I mean, I can do intros for videos, make animations, and where else do I get to do that? So, yeah, that's about it in a nutshell. That's about it. Lord of Midgets, don't believe a word of these lies. Kris was a patient. He just thought that he was a security guard because he muscled people off in the vending machine so no one could buy his talking Snickers. Kesker, nobody touches Kris's nuts? Nope, nobody. Well, not nobody, but anyway. Dr. Santos, I'm going to mention that painting on those mustache guys, writing a letter, but I can't remember the name now. I'm going to mention that painting of those mustache guys writing a letter, but I can't remember the name now. I don't know. Lane Stanquist, how did you find out about mini wargaming? Was it the store, or was it just went and played games and purchased stuff? Well, I had seen the videos on YouTube, and I loved the humor in the videos, like Dave's commercials for green stuff. They made me laugh. They were funny, and Matt and Dave's personalities on camera were great. They're funny as hell. And the videos were entertaining, and I was watching some of the bat raps and some things like that. And I had the opportunity to come down here for a tournament, and so I came down here and played a tournament, a 40K tournament. And the video, if you go through Mini Wargaming's older videos, like from way back, it is a battle report between my Samhan Eldar against the Tau Force, and that was taking place during that tournament. And yeah, it's an old video. You have to go back about 5 years. 5 years. I've been here 5 years, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, and then I came down for Apocalypticon, and that was the summer, and then they were hiring in the fall, in the fall. It was somewhere around there. It was because I came up here for the Apocalypticon, and they were hiring in the fall, and so I said, and I think it was an easy move for Matt and Dave to hire me as well, because they had already met me, and so it was a pretty easy kind of talk with them and interview and stuff like that, and so yeah. So if anybody's really looking for a job, come here first, meet them, and then say, yeah, we've met before, and it was great. I wasn't a complete jerk. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's how I found out about Mini Wargaming. This was the videos. It really, the big one was Dave's green stuff videos, the commercials for green stuff, like they're advertising, because they used to throw green stuff in with your orders along with Mike and Ike's. And yeah, things were a lot of fun when Mini Wargaming still had the store. A lot of fun. Anyway, data emails for the email god. Yes, I think so. I think we will. The barfing sheep. That's my cue to come over. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Just come in and meet him. If you want a job, work on bat reps, whatever. Why not? In fact, we may, maybe, I don't know. Opening, I don't know. Small possibility. Oh, wrong mouse. Let's do an email. What time are we at? Holy moly, we've got 17 minutes left. We better get through some emails. This is from Rumen Matnoff. Hey, Kris, here are the pictures as well. Just realized I didn't have them in the original mail. Oh, okay, here we go. And so, yeah, here are his Night Lords. I like these, man. And he sculpted these, didn't he? Yeah, he freehand sculpted these wings. Like they're on top of like the Dark Angel wings that are there. But that's just awesome. I think. Or did he cast them? No, I think he sculpted them. Either way, it all looks awesome. Fantastic. Fantabulous. That's awesome. So anybody's doing some Night Lords bikes, get yourself the Ravenwing bikes. Make your life a little bit easier getting those wings done. That's just awesome. Got multiple angles going on here. Then all you do is just throw some spiky bits on. Big crests. Really good stuff. I like the conversion stuff. And we don't talk conversions enough on this show, I don't think. But yeah. Really good stuff. Oh, Ruminoff is here. Green stuff sculpted all the way. Yeah, okay. Good stuff. See that little bit of yellow in there? In your green stuff? You know how I know that that's there and how it got there? Because you're using a ribbon. You're using a green stuff ribbon. And that's uncured. Uncurable epoxy. Very cool. Well, thank you, Romanoff. Rumen Matinoff. Romanoff. I can't even speak anymore. Kind of frazzled at the moment. Yeah, like when you have those little chunks in your green stuff, that's because you're using the ribbon. The ribbon is like, when the red and the yellow and blue are touching, it's partially cured in there. You're better off buying the tubes of green stuff that are separate, because that way you always get the nice smooth green stuff. Smooth. Dr. Xantos said, Kris, reply to the Zaporizhian Cossacks. What? That's the painting. Check it out. Okay. Hold on. You have to send that to me in an email, like a link, not for Way the Brush, but just send it to me, the link, whatever, or the proper name of the painting. And check out that piece. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. I'll check that one out. David Taylor, how would you convert a land speeder into a Batmobile capable of finally killing the Joker? I don't know. That's kind of a left field kind of question, I think. Because really, does Batman kill? Batman's not supposed to kill, right? It's like his one rule. Barbie Sheep, you need 2 for the anti-grav upwash, then you'll really calf them? What? I know, you guys can't write properly, I can't read properly, and I'm having trouble speaking. Let's do another email. This is from AB. Hello, Kris. Please take a look at my bike. Critics and tips are welcome. Thanks a lot. Greetings from Austria, Dominic. And so he has shared them over OneDrive files, and I don't like clicking on the OneDrive files, but I will. Who knows what silliness is going to happen? Oi. Here we go. Can we get view original? Oh, I messed it all up, I think. Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay. So here's his bike. Very, very cool. I like the free-handed. Very interesting. Okay, let's go to this one. And let's go view original. Ooh, look at the lettering on here. That's some really nice work on the lettering there. That's some really nice work. It's 1%. I don't know what that means. What does it mean? I don't know. It looks like a modern day bike. Or it looks like something from like the 60s or 70s. That was sci-fi'd up, like the 60s or 70s version of sci-fi. Whatever that is, I don't know. I'm not sure what that possibly would be. Anyway. So he's just sharing his work on this bike, and this bike is just impressive. Oh, look at this. Look at that. Can you guys count how many layers that is? David Taylor, what percent milk? No. Can you guys guess how many, not guess, but count how many layers that is? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, possibly 11 layers. Oh, there's another one right there, too. Some really great stuff here. This bike looks like it's from like Skybor, whatever the heck the company name is. That's what that looks like. They like green stuff pressed armor plates that they make. That's what that looks like. So let's have a look at this last one. And normally I don't like doing this with the clicking on side. I prefer the pictures as attachments to the email, but I will forgive this once. I think a bit more heat exhaust on the bike would be kind of cool, or even that discoloration. Like the metal's been really heated up. Maybe something like that. I didn't catch it the first time when we were looking at this angle, but yeah, that's some great lettering. That is really great lettering. That's really good. That's really nice work, Dominic. I think he sent another one too, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Oh my God, there's even more pictures. Okay, well, what time are we at here? We got 9 minutes left. Okay, we got enough time. We can quickly look at a couple more here. And so Dominic says, "Hey Kris, I'm here. I have a few more models done. Can you please take a look at them? CNC, please." Well, the CNC. I mean, your work is really, really good. Offhand, I was just kind of viewing everything and admiring. View original. Let's go view original. There we go. See, nice and clean. Oops. The weathering, I like the weathering, but the weathering feels a little bit kind of like he just went bang, 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 rather than where the wear would occur logically, right? Logically, the weathering would occur along the bottom edge of the tank, where dirt and things are going to fly up and chip the paint off. As the tank is rumbling forward at high speed, oftentimes the front leading edges would often catch more debris as well, along with like bullet impacts and wear and tear, and like hand grips and stuff like that. You get a lot more wear and tear, like from where the ladder is, the paint chipping off around the hatch of the tank, things like that. I mean, like everybody likes to do the wear and tear on the tanks, but oh, hold on, I gotta close all these. Close. There we go. Had too many windows up here. Let's go with this one. And the view original. I like the highlight. I like your little use of blue in there. It's really good. Okay, hold on here. Let's go back to this one here. Ooh. I like that. Your freehanding is really, really nice. I like your freehanding. Really good stuff. I like the wear and the mud grime, the buildup. That's really, really cool. With that kind of buildup on the front of the dozer, though, I think you could also have it along the bottom edges of the tank itself. Just so that it continues that same kind of feeling of the battlefield. Because logically, I mean, this front end would get all caked up, but so would the bottom end of the tank as well. Now, it wouldn't be quite as much as, say, a tank without the dozer, and would have more mud splashed up on it, as opposed to like this kind of tank where he doesn't, but but really good stuff. All right, let's have another look at one more. And yeah, see, here we go. One thing that always kind of bugs me when people do OSL on headlamps, light would not gather here. Why? Because the light travels in a straight line, and even if light was coming from the bottom here, it skims along and would go outwards, would not even touch this area. Light from up here comes down, it catches this lip, and would catch somewhere out here from the panel. This would leave a shadow in there. And so you actually have no color here or a little band here, depending on how you wanted to depict it. But, yeah. That's always one thing that kind of bugs me whenever I see OSL, people doing, especially when they're doing it by airbrush, but you look like you dry brush that, which is, good effort, of course. Yeah, whenever they airbrush it and they always hit that lip like there, I always end up putting a piece of tape over that. Just so that, for my own OCD, it makes sense logically that, the light would cast shadows like that in that area. I like the wear and tear on the blade. It's very cool. Again, the wear and tear on the tank, leading edges would have more wear, Again, it's just kind of thinking about it, realistically, logically, where these things would occur, where the wear and tear of a tank would go. And again, it doesn't hurt to have, some sort of reference material as far as, from construction vehicles or World War II vehicles, things like that, You know what? Let's have a look at one more, and let's just have a look at this one. Is it the front view of that one? Yeah. So all the griminess. That blue must be coming from your window. That's where the blue is coming from. Trick me. Like your work on the lenses. Really like that. That's really nice. Nice little gradient on there. Again, really, really nice work. Thank you for sending those in. It's awesome stuff. Feel free to send me more. And I do encourage it. Sometimes I don't get to this stuff right away, but I try. Somehow I try. Hand is hurting down there now. Oh, where are we at in these comments here? Kurt Gershon, my replacement Series 7 number 0 brush just arrived. Sweet. Yeah, I've only ever used my 0. I've never used my 00, and I've occasionally used my 000. But I don't think I've ever used my 00. I've always just used the 0 or the 000. It's good to have, all the brushes. But yeah, I've only ever used the 0. Lane Stanquist. Kris, how many emails do you receive a week for this program? Are you close to caught up on a surplus of emails? Well, because I didn't have the show for I think 2 weeks in a row, the emails kind of built up. Right now, if I do this email right now, I will only be 11 days behind. So right now, yeah, I'm only 11 days behind. But that's because I had, was it 2 weeks off? Or was it only 1 week? I think it might have been 2 weeks. Anyway. What time we at? 1:59. Let's do a quick one here. Let's do this one from the Barfing Sheep. And this is the Barfing Sheep. I know we all love Nurgle bums, and here is the pinnacle of bums. There we go. This is your moment of zen. I like how he's got the haloing around, and we're just concentrating just on the big pimply Nurgle bum. How many angles do we get from this Nurgle bum? Oh, we get a clear shot here. More Nurgle bum. It's a good paint job, though. Nurgle, like orcs, you can paint them as messy as you want. Oh, look at the goop in his mouth. Ew, gross. Gross. What's there? Oh, and you got the bronze and you got the oxidization going on. Ah, very cool. I get it. I get jokes. Very nice. That's it for Nurgle. And one more time for some more Nurgle Bum. We'll zoom in. There you go. Nurgle Bum for you all. Enjoy. Take it in. Take in the Nurgle Bum. Jeez. Anyway. If you want to see your email read online or on the show, Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Join me on Facebook. It's in the description below. You want to ask questions there, or you just want to simple input. Usually on the Facebook, I post what I'm working on, although I haven't posted anything in the last couple of days. But yeah, t-shirts, Way the Brush t-shirts. If you want to look nice and presentable to other people and say, you know what, I am a connoisseur of all that is good and great in this world and in this hobby that we all love. Nothing says it more than a Way the Brush t-shirt. I'm kind of surprised that these things are just flying off the shelves, because I mean, we all love this hobby, and and so yeah, I think that's it. Email, Facebook, t-shirts, right? I think we kind of learned something today, didn't we? We learned something. We had a few laughs, I think. There may be no show next weekend, but I will post a notice. My sister's coming up with my nephews, and so we're going to be having family time, possibly. So, again, there may be no show next Saturday, but again, I will post something. Like it's summertime, right? And I normally take summers off. I haven't so far this year, because again, we're into August now. And also, we haven't done a giveaway yet. We haven't done a giveaway show. I'm thinking episode 130, just because it's an even number. DT, are we not your family? Well, in a sense, yes, you are, but not by blood. So, no. Yeah, so I'm going to have to do a giveaway show at some point, I think. What? I have no idea. I have to drum up something, I think. Maybe I'll have to see what Mini War Gaming will sponsor. And, yeah, so take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys in episode 128. 128. Holy man, 128. It's already 128 of these episodes. Can you believe that? People actually sit and watch this crap?